Fine. So you see the wordings whenever you write, you always write like in this order. Consider an atomic system having three energy levels. Okay. And all such energy levels, energies, you can write it down like E1, E2, E3. Similar way, you can write down the number of atoms or particles in each level. Okay. And let's classify it as N1, N2, and N3. Okay. and uh, and again the purpose is very same. You need to provide the external pumping so that the particles which are there in the lower level, they can get absorb the energy, and after exciting they will reach to the upper level, level number 3. Okay, so that much amount of pumping you need to provide so that it can directly jump to the level number 3. But what happens is, since the lifetime of level 3 is less, so they cannot spend a lot of time in the level 3, and immediately they have to come to the lower level, that is level number 2. And this process is so fast because of less time interval, so we are calling that process as rapid decay. And after coming to this level number 2, there the lifetime of this level 2 is slightly large compared to the level 3. And let me tell you the lifetime order also. So for level 3, the lifetime is around 10 raised to minus 8 second. For level 2, the lifetime is around 10 raised to minus 3 second. That means millisecond time interval. So that means there the lifetime is more at level 2. And because of that, particles are trying to stay over here for a more number of time. Okay, for a longer period of time. So because of that, the particles are, or the atoms are getting accumulated in this level number 2. Okay, but at the same time, this process is going on from level 1 to level 3. This pumping process is going on. So what happens because of that? Your level 1 particles are getting decreased because this pumping process is going on. But at the same time, this lifetime of level 2 is high. So because of that, they are getting accumulated in the level 2. And that's how we can create the population inversion between level 2 and level 1. And after spending that much time interval, that is millisecond time interval, again it has to go down to the original state. Okay, so when going to the original state, it will emit the energy again, and that energy will be in the form of laser beam. Okay, so that is why you can get the laser output from the level 2 to level 1. But you see carefully, important thing which you know you have to note it down from this diagram is this pumping energy. You see this is very large. This pumping energy is nothing but the energy level difference between level 1 and level 3. But at the same time, you see the laser output which is coming out from level 2 to 1. So it is this laser output energy is nothing but the energy level difference between level 2 to level 1 only. Okay, so that means it is very clear that you are supplying large amount of energy, but at the end you are getting less amount of output of the laser beam. Okay, so this is how your laser system works for the 3-level system. So let me move it. This already we have discussed up to the last time. Okay, so let me move it to this next part. Okay, whatever the process I told to you through the diagram, that all I have written over here. Okay, so no need to worry about that. Clear? So you just go through it, you just make the diagram properly, and all such details you can write it down in your own words looking to the diagram itself. So that is how I have written over here. Okay, so nothing to worry with that. It is there. So you just can, if you want, you can read it out, because I don't want to read every stuff. I already discussed what is the procedure happening in the with the help of diagram. Okay, so it is same thing is written. Nothing to worry with that. So I'm skipping this one. And here comes the important part. Okay, as we have discussed for the case of 2-level system, like the sum of all the particles present in different levels are going to be a constant number. So that is why, since there are 3 levels and particles are N1, N2, and N3, so again if you take the sum of all these 3, that is going to be a constant number always in a particular system. Okay, in levels they can be different, but in a system that number is always going to be a constant number. Either you can represent by capital N, or sometimes in other book they are writing for and not also. Okay, so both way are same. Either way you can prefer it. The now, as I told you that now you need to write the rates for 3-level also. Okay, so how to write? I must have told you in the earlier lecture that in the rate system always try to write the rates for the upper level first. So here the upper level will be the level number 3, and that is why you need to write the rates first for the level number 3. Okay, and whenever I talk about the rates, that means I am talking about the number of particles with respect to time. Clear? So here it is dn3 by dt for level number 3. Okay, so all such 3 process which we have discussed so many times, all the 3 process one by one you need to apply it to this also. Okay, so this part I am leaving for you people. Okay, so you just go through it, you apply all such three process one by one. Okay, the rates, etc. All such things are given. You have all the data with you. Okay, so you just go through it and write down. You will get this result only. Nothing to worry with it. Okay, so but I will leave
Sir,
it for you people. Yes.
WP.
Yeah, WP is same. You see, let me go to the previous slide. Here you see this frequency I consider as nu P. Okay, that means the pumping power or the pumping frequency we are saying. Okay, P for pumping. So this nu P and this H nu 1, this is going to be different. That's why I have written two different quantities. Okay, ताकि अगर मैं H nu लिखता तो आप कंफ्यूज हो जाते कि H nu स्टार्टिंग पंपिंग एनर्जी वाला है या लेजर आउटपुट के लिए है. So to make it different, I just put this pumping energy as H nu P, P for pump. And for laser I have written down either you want you can write nu L or you can write nu 1 or whichever number you want to provide, but make it separate compared to the pumping energy. Okay, so this is the maximum one which you have to supply from level 1 to level 3, so that maximum pumping energy or the frequency whatever you have, that you are going to write down with P symbol. Okay, so that is why instead of W1 W2 which we have done earlier, right now I have written WP. If you want you can write W13 also, because this is happening from 1 to 3. Clear? So these are just the convention people are following, because in book it is written like that only, so I have considered. But you can always write, instead of WP you can write W13, because that process is happening from 1 to 3.
सर
Are you getting now? Yes.
सर W1 से 3 और है ना स्टिम्युलेटेड हो रहा है, वो तो 2 से 3 हो रहा है ना सर, स्टिम्युलेटेड एमिशन। तो आप है ना सर डायरेक्ट है ना N3 के लिए भी WP कैसे लिख सकते हैं? अपन को N3 के साथ में W23 लिखना पड़ेगा ना?
W23 किसके लिए? N3 के लिए? No, see the thing is what I said is right now we are talking about the level number 3. Okay, forget about level 2, level 1. So whatever the changes are happening in level 3, that only we are writing down. Okay, and since you are talking about the probability, so अगर आपने एक particular case consider किया कि अगर वो level 1 से 3 में jump करता है, so then there are also possibilities कि दो level के बीच में transitions होने के chances है. Of course probability will be less for 3 to 1. Okay, probability ज्यादा होगी 3 से 2 की, but 3 से 1 के chances है. That's why we have considered that fact also. WP N3. Okay, level 2 involve नहीं किया, क्यों? क्योंकि level 2 अभी हम लोग बात ही नहीं कर रहे हैं. Right now we are discussing only about the level 3. Okay, and from where the level 3, I mean the changes may be possible in level 3, so that particular term we are writing down over here. Is it clear now?
Yes sir.
Yeah, still see, if you look at carefully, fine, what we have done is, see, the purpose of using the rates is we need to come out with some outcome. Okay, on the basis of that we can get some details. But if we keep on writing all such small terms also, your system will be very complex, because this is 3 level now. Okay, but if you go to the 4 level, then again there are many terms. So if you keep accumulating writing all such terms, then your system will be getting very complex. So whenever the probabilities of happening that process is less, we are neglecting it. And that is why if you see on the screen, I have written that word also, that T31 is also possible, T31 N3. Okay, but we are neglecting it, because compared to T31 N3, chances of T32 N3 will be large. So that is why we are keeping that only.
सर
Yes.
3 से 1 में भी सर स्टिम्युलेटेड एमिशन हो रहा है क्या सर डायरेक्ट?
See, possibilities hai. See, in quantum physics, okay, this is all quantum phenomena, so you cannot that there is no probability or no possibility. Okay, always there has to be some possibility. Yes, but probabilities are less, since, but see, you have written in the level number 3. Okay, so then you need, see, this is the pumping energy. So if you are claiming that the pumping energy wherever it is involved, then you need to compare all these 2 levels. अगर मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि मैं पंपिंग एनर्जी दे रहा हूँ 1 से 3 में, so उसका रिवर्स केस भी आपको कंसिडर करना है 3 to 1 का. ओके, बट अगर आप स्पॉन्टेनियस प्रोसेस का केस है, देन यू डोंट नीड टू वरी अबाउट दैट. बट अगर आपने पंपिंग एनर्जी आप क्लेम कर रहे हो कि आप यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग 1 to 3, देन अपोजिट केस आल्सो यू नीड टू कंसीडर. अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग, probabilities of happening 3 to 1 stimulated process from 3 to 1 is less, but it is not 0. Okay, keep in mind. Another thing is, chances will be more for which one? 3 से 2. जो उसके इमीडिएट लेवल होगा उसके चांसेस ज्यादा होंगे, या 3 से 2 होगा या 2 से 1 होगा, बट 3 से 1 के चांस काफी कम है. बट सिंस वी आर राइटिंग एवरीथिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ दिस पंपिंग फ्रीक्वेंसी, तो अगर फ्रीक्वेंसी इन्वॉल्व है देन आपको वो टर्म यूज करना पड़ेगा. अगर आपने 1 से 3 किया है देन 3 to 1, so that at the end when you do the sum of all these three levels, okay, you will get the 0. Are you getting that?
सर WP इंटू N3 सर स्टिम्युलेटेड ट्रांजिशन 3 से 1 का है या फिर 2 से 1 का है?
No, 3 से 1. Right now whatever the terms you see, it is happening from level 3 only. Okay, level 2 अभी इन्वॉल्व ही नहीं है कहीं पे इसके अंदर. लेवल 2 का लेवल 2 के अंदर बात करेंगे कि उसमें क्या क्या पॉसिबिलिटी हो सकती है. सो ऑल द पॉसिबिलिटीज यू राइट इट डाउन. ओके, सिंपल वे में आपको बताता हूँ. सो ऑल द पॉसिबिलिटीज विच यू थिंक of related to that level, you write it down, and then later you think which has the more probability compared to the other term. Okay, and then you strike out. जैसे आप चाहो तो यहाँ पे सारे टर्म्स लिख दो, T31 N3 भी you also you write it down, but then you look at कि किसके चांसेस ज्यादा है. So you can neglect that. जैसे T31 N3 में चाहूँ तो लिख सकता हूँ यहाँ पर, there is no harm in that. but अगर मैं यहाँ एंट्री करता हूँ then same thing मुझे प्लस साइन के साथ dn1 by dt में भी करना पड़ेगी. ओके, तो मैं जितने ज्यादा टर्म्स बढ़ाऊंगा हेलो
Sir,
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
okay okay
Sir, you are audible.
okay, perfect. So these are just the probabilities. Okay, and that too right now I am talking about only for the level number 3. okay, तो आप क्या करो, सिंपल मैंने आपको बताया, अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग. यू कैन राइट whatever the process you know, okay, whatever the combinations you may think of, all such things you write for level 3, and then later on based on the probabilities you can define कि भाई के होने के चांस ज्यादा है, you keep it that, and other things you neglect it. but अगर आप लिखना भी चाहो तो भी वो गलत नहीं है. fine, because at the end whatever term you write into the this level 3, okay, same term somewhere in the level 1 or level 2 you need to compensate, ताकि at the end when you write the total of all such dn1 by dt, dn2 by dt, dn3 by dt, that is going to be 0. clear? so there is no harm in that. also you write all such terms, that is completely perfect. सेम वे मैंने आपको बताई था कि टी क्या रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है, सम ऑफ ए प्लस एस. ओके, ए मींस फॉर रेडिटी प्रोसेस, एस फॉर non-ready process. So same thing they have written for T32. Same thing you can write for T31 also. Okay, so this is how, nothing to worry with that. Simple, the old things we are following. Let me move forward for the level number 2. Okay, here you see level number 2, dn2 by dt, dn1 by dt. Clear? So you all see this rates for this also. Again there are so many possible terms will be there for level 2 as well as for level 1, but depending on the probabilities or the chances. Yes, yes, yes.
be neglected because the chances are very low.
Which one?
N1, W1, N2 minus N2 should be neglected because we have told the chances are very less. Transition will take place.
You are talking in second level. Actually your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking, so I cannot hear it properly. Yeah. dn. Yes, hello. Henny, can you speak again?
Hello.
Yeah, yes.
Sir, in dn1 by dt part, W1 terms should be neglected because there should be no transition like that, right?
The dn1 by dt.
Yes. In
W1
that,
term.
no,
No,
direct transition will take place though from 1 to 3.
yeah, but I told you na, while discussing that also in the 3 level, that all possibilities are there that it can struck up to level 2 only, level 2 also. Clear? So right now what we are writing, all such possible outcomes which may be happening from level 2 or level 1, that we are writing down over here.
Then,
Okay,
sir, I have neglected that term in third. We should write that also, no?
I have written na W1 N1, W1 N2 also have written it.
नो
I have
इन
not
द
neglected.
dn3/dt में हमने वो एक टर्म निग्लेक्ट की थी ना,
वो तो
वाली?
T3, हाँ, that was T31 N3. So if
Yes.
you can, if you want, you can write it down. There is no harm in that. But if you are writing over here, if you are writing this T31 N3 term in the level number 3 case, okay, then the same term you have to write in level 1 over here with plus sign. Okay, so there will be one more term with plus sign, that is T31. Okay, over here, let me annotate, let me try if I can annotate it, because right today the screen is not working properly, so I was not able to annotate it. But anyway, look at this side, this mouse pointer, you can check it out. So after this term you can write with plus sign, and that this term T31 N3 also. But provided if you're writing over there, then you need to include at this side also. Here also you need to include this. Are you getting?
Yes, got it.
Yes, whatever you do, you have to make sure कि आपने अगर कहीं पर उसको प्लस दिखाया है तो आपको दूसरी जगह उसको माइनस में दिखाना है. So at the end the term or the total has to be 0. That's it. Clear? अगर आप यहाँ पे skip कर रहे हो, then you need to skip over on in that other level also. Clear? So मैंने यहाँ पे यही किया है. क्लियर? और अगर आपको लगता है कि नहीं मुझे सारे टर्म से लिखनी है, यू राइट इट दैट ऑल्सो, तो भी गलत नहीं है वो. क्लियर? बट मेक श्योर जो आप एंट्री ऊपर करोगे वो आपके दूसरे वाले लेवल में कहीं पे भी वो सेट हो जाना चाहिए.
सर एक डाउट है.
या प्लीज.
ये जो dn1 dt में w1 n2 माइनस n1 है और
हाँ.
n2 t21 है, तो सर उसमें
हाँ.
फर्क क्या है? ये एक ही हो गया ना? वैसे तो सेकंड लेवल से वन लेवल पे ही तो जा रहा है सब.
हाँ करेक्ट है, लेकिन
तो
एक
फिर
स्टिमुलेटेड एमिशन प्रोसेस हो रहा है और दूसरा आपका स्पॉन्टेनियस एमिशन प्रोसेस हो रहा है.
ओके, मतलब
दो अलग अलग
w1
प्रोसेस
इज फॉर स्टिम्युलेटेड.
है. यस, and T21 is for the spontaneous process.
ओके.
सेम वे अगर आप, हाँ उसमें तो खैर एक ही चांस है, तो इसमें तो कोई दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं. T2 से स्पॉन्टेनियस का एक ही केस है, तो नॉट टू वरी. अभी
ओके
क्लियर है?
सर.
इसलिए मैंने
यस
बोला आप क्या करो, आप पहले 3 लेवल वन यू डिसाइड, once you draw the 3 level diagram, and as per your understanding you apply all the 3 process, whatever may be the possible outcomes, you write it down in corresponding to these levels, and then you think of like which has higher probabilities, so you can keep them, and later on you can, जो जिसका probability कम है, you strike that. अगर आपको वो भी नहीं करना है, अगर आपको लगता है कि नहीं इसका probability मुझे ज्यादा लगता है, मुझे नहीं हटाना है, that is also fine, you keep it. But whatever the things you write it in the higher level, somewhere you need to compensate the same term in the lower level. Okay, जैसे हमने 2 लेवल में भी किया था, इनमें भी किया है. जहां पे तुम प्लस का साइन देखोगे, नीचे वाले कई लेवल में वो माइनस के साइन के साथ मैंने सेम टर्म लिखा ही होगा. ओके, सो जो चैट में भी किसी ने पूछा है कि मैं कैसे बताऊं कि वो लेस प्रोबेबल है नहीं है. फाइन, इफ यू सेड कि वो लेस प्रोबेबल नहीं है, उसके चांस इक्वली होंगे, सो यू राइट इट दैट आल्सो. क्लियर? बट एट द एंड, हाँ यस
सर, जो सेकंड लेवल से फर्स्ट लेवल में ट्रांजिशन होगा वो एज कंपेयर टू थर्ड टू सेकंड में फास्ट होगा या स्लो रहेगा?
नहीं, थर्ड टू सेकंड में तो फास्ट होगा ना, क्योंकि थर्ड वाले का लाइफ टाइम काफी कम है, तो उसके कारण से वो रैपिड डिके होगा. लेकिन सेकंड से वन में जब होगा तो वहां पे सेकंड का लाइफ टाइम ज्यादा है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वो उसमें देयर विल बी इनफ टाइम टू जनरेट द लेजर सिग्नल फ्रॉम दैट. ओके, ऊपर वाले में इतना टाइम इनफ बिल्ड नहीं होता है कि आपका लेजर सिग्नल आउट हो जाए वहां से, क्योंकि आपको इंटेंसिटी भी बिल्ड अप करनी रहती है. सो दैट इज व्हाई आई टोल्ड यू द रोल ऑफ ऑप्टिकल रेजोनेटर. Okay, so all such
Yes, sir.
these processes are happening in the optical resonator part. So it requires time so that that laser intensity, proper laser intensity or output will come out from the system.
सर
Okay, yes.
सर dn2/dt में हमने w1 क्यों रखा है? wp आना चाहिए ना, क्योंकि 1 से 2 में जो ट्रांजिशन होगा वो तो पंपिंग की वजह से होगा ना.
No. अगर 1 से 3 जा रहा है, मतलब कि मैक्सिमम पंपिंग उसको दे रहे हैं, राइट? तो 1 से 3 का जो मैक्सिमम पंपिंग है उसको मैंने P से रिप्रेजेंट किया. लेकिन अगर वो 1 से 2 ही जा रहा है तो उसको मैं WP नहीं लिखूंगा, क्योंकि अगर WP मिल जाता तो वो तो 3 पे पहुंच जाता, राइट? वो लेवल 2 पे जाके रुक जा रहा है, इसका मतलब उसको पूरा पंपिंग नहीं मिला, उसको कुछ कम पंपिंग मिला, एंड दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव रिप्रेजेंटेड विद W1. अगर आपको लगता है तो आप कुछ और से भी रिप्रेजेंट कर दो, बट WP आई कैन नॉट रिप्रेजेंट, क्योंकि WP मतलब वो पूरा 1 से 3 में ही जाएगा, वो उसके लिए मैंने डिनोट कर
मतलब
दिया।
सर W1 जो वो भी पंपिंग की वजह से ही है ना?
हाँ, पंपिंग की वजह से ही है, लेकिन वो लेवल 2 तक जा रहा है, इसके लिए मैं उसको WP नहीं लिख सकता, उसको मैंने कुछ अलग नेमिंग दे दिया, सो आई हैव रिटन W1, नथिंग एल्स।
ओके सर, W1 होगा वो B इंटू जो हम एनर्जी लिखते हैं उसमें जो फ्रीक्वेंसी डिपेंडेंट टर्म होता है,
यस,
उसमें जो लेजर की जो फ्रीक्वेंसी होगी वो आएगी।
नहीं नहीं,
लेजर में
इंसिडेंट
हमने
एनर्जी जो
एच
होगी
म्यू।
ना, उस इंसिडेंट एनर्जी जो है, राइट, जनरली हम लोग वही लेते हैं, इंसिडेंट एनर्जी लेते हैं, लेकिन अगर आप लेवल 2 की बात करो तो जितना डिफरेंस आएगा आपका, सी अगर वो लेवल 2 तक जा रहा है तो यानी कि उसके चांस उतना ही है, उतना ही एनर्जी उसमें आपने लिया है, तो वो उस कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग एनर्जी पे आपको डिपेंड करना है। दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव नेवर रिटन कि वो न्यू जो है वो फिक्स्ड है, वो डिपेंड करता है आपका किस लेवल तक आपका एनर्जी स्प्रेड हो रहा है। आर यू गेटिंग दैट? ये जो W1 है, ठीक है, ये जो W1 है, इट इज इक्विवेलेंट विथ H न्यू 1, वो जो एनर्जी डेंसिटी है ना, उसमें न्यू 1 आपको लिखना है, ठीक है। WP अगर होगा तो उसमें न्यू P लिखना है आपको।
सर मैं वही बोल
आर
रहा
यू
हूँ कि
गेटिंग दैट?
लेजर जो एमिट होगा उसमें जो एच म्यू वन लिखा था, तो जो वो म्यू वन है वो W1 के साथ रिलेटेड है ना?
यस 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 यस,
ओके
वही
सर।
है। ओके, feel free to ask any doubt if you have, because this is something which is very tough to understand from book directly. Okay, कि ये इतने सारे टर्म्स लिखे, कौन सा प्लस कौन सा माइनस, कैसे वो सेट हो रहा है, so it's very difficult to understand, right? So whenever you have any doubt something, you please ask it, and I told you the general idea, जब भी आपको डाउट हो तो आप सारे पॉसिबल टर्म्स लिख दो, एंड लेटर ऑन अगर आप उसको लग के भी रखोगे तो भी गलत नहीं है, बट आपको लगता है कि यार ये टर्म्स की प्रोबेबिलिटी या चांसेस कम है, देन यू नेग्लेक्ट इट। अगर एक टर्म एक लेवल से आपने नेग्लेक्ट किया, देन यू नीड टू नेग्लेक्ट फ्रॉम द अदर लेवल ऑल्सो, तभी जाके आपका जो टोटल होगा इन सारे टर्म्स का वो 0 हो पाएगा। क्लियर यहाँ तक? आप करके
सर अगर
देखना एक बार।
तो कुछ
यस,
गलत नहीं होगा ना?
नहीं नहीं, कुछ गलत नहीं, आप एक्स्ट्रा लिखोगे तो उसमें कुछ गलत नहीं है,
ओके।
है ना। बस ओनली थिंग्स क्या है, सी पर्पस, अगर मैं इन सबको सिंप्लीफाई करूं जैसे लास्ट टाइम किया था, लेट्स लुक एट द अनदर स्लाइड, देन यू विल सी, हियर इट इज। So if I consider the steady state case, okay, we know that in steady state what is happen, this dy dt is going to be 0, okay, that means number of particles are not depending on time or not changing with time, so in that case all these three factors are going to be 0. If you place this result into the earlier formulas with जो आपने लिखे हैं earlier slide पे, और उसके बाद आप सिंप्लीफाई करोगे, सो इट इज गेटिंग वेरी डिफिकल्ट, क्योंकि आपके पास नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स काफी ज्यादा है, एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट इज गेटिंग डिफिकल्ट टू सिंप्लीफाई। You look at, clear
Sir,
यहाँ तक?
on the
Yes,
next screen, what we are writing it as dn1 by dt is 0. Actually, the sum should be 0, na?
no, see I considered as the steady state, okay, वो टोटल तो मैं करूंगा उसके बाद, लेकिन स्टेडी स्टेट पे क्या होगा, अगर आप देखोगे सम भी आप कर सकते हो, उससे भी एक आउटकम निकलेगा। देयर आर टू थिंग्स बेसिकली हैपनिंग, वन इज यू हैव टू कंसीडर स्टेडी स्टेट। स्टेडी स्टेट में क्या होगा कि नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स दैट विल नॉट डिपेंड ऑन द टाइम, सो डायरेक्टली दिस फैक्टर विल बी 0। में आप क्या करो, दूसरी चीज जैसे मैंने लास्ट टाइम किया था, you take the sum of all this dn1 by dt, dn2 by dt, dn3 by dt, you take the sum, so you will get 0, okay, and then if you integrate it, so you will get n1 plus n2 plus n3 equal to a constant, that is what, so वो मैंने चीज स्किप कर दी, क्योंकि वो आपको मैंने बता दिया कि आपके नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स ऑलवेज सिस्टम में कांस्टेंट ही रहेंगे, बट इफ यू वांट यू टेक द सम ऑफ ऑल थ्री, and you will get n1 plus n2 plus n3 equal to a constant number. Clear? That is one aspect, and this is the
Yes,
second
sir.
one. This is the second one, जिसमें आप steady state consider करोगे, so उस केस में all such factors are 0. Then you place the result, and then you simplify, so something like this result you will get it.
सर यहाँ हमने n3 by n1 फाइंड किया है ना?
क्या चीज?
यहाँ हमने n3 by n1 फाइंड किया है ना?
Yes, n3 by n1. Okay, there are similarly other formulas also, many more. Similarly you can find out n2 by n1 also. So that all such details I have not covered because that is not in your syllabus up to that much depth, but this particular content I have covered over here so that you can also check it out whether this rate system is possible in 3-level system or 4-level system or not. Okay, it is not the complete derivation. Still, if you look it in the book, there is a more such parameters. Similarly, n3 by n1, n2 by n1 also you can find out. Okay, so that will give you the idea that whether we are able to generate laser light from a 3-level system or not. Okay, so that formula, one such formula I have considered this one. Clear? But purpose of this activity is just to give you the idea that the rates can be written for 3-level as well as for 4-level system also. Okay, and not to worry if you skip this rate part because this is not in your syllabus, let me tell you. Okay, that much depth is not there, but purpose is I will just to let you know that whatever the things we are doing or writing, it is applicable for all other systems also. Okay, now this is something we are interested in this. Okay, threshold pumping power. Okay, so what is the minimum? See, many a times we have claimed that we need to supply external energy so that the particles can absorb it and reach to the upper level or something, but how much amount of energy I need to supply? Are you getting my idea? Many a times we are claiming that in 2-level also we have seen, in 3-level also theoretically we talk so much like this much energy we supply from the external source so that it absorb it and reach to the upper level and then so on. But what is the minimum or the threshold pumping I required so that this particular process can happen and laser will generate? Okay, so up to now it is very clear 2-level system cannot be helpful for generating the laser light, but 3-level system is possible because we have seen recently. So how to define this minimum pumping? So again, that derivation which we have seen in the last slides. Okay, if you continue forward, all such things are given in book, so you just go through it if you are interested. But right now we are interested in the final outcome, so I have taken the final outcome, this formula. So you look at this one. Let me see, annotate screen. No, it's not possible. Okay, so you see this one. This formula we are obtaining after deriving for the 3-level system, that is PT, T for the threshold, okay, P for the power, okay, and T21, how this T21 you are knowing that, okay, and N1 is also you know that, and H nu P, this also you know that. Nu P is basically the pumping frequency which you supply from level 1 to level 3. Okay, so that is how nu P I have written. And similarly, if on the right, on the top side you see total number of particles, we are knowing that N, I mean the sum of all such particles which are there in different levels is going to be a constant. So that is why you see N1 plus N2 plus N3 is equivalent with capital N. Okay, but again, as I told you that the level 3 is almost empty because the lifetime is very less, so particles or atoms will not stay over there. So it is ideally, or let's say compared to the other levels, it is almost empty. Okay, so that is why I have written all such this equivalent sign you can see. So this, the sum of N1 plus N2 plus N3, I can write it down approximately as N1 plus N2. Okay, because level 3 lifetime has very less, so the particles will not stay over there. So comparatively, I consider that N3 is almost empty. So this capital N is going to equal with N1 plus N2. Again, I'm not saying it is completely empty, it is almost empty, and that is why this equivalent sign or approximate sign will be there. Okay, so this is one result, N1 plus N2 equal to N. This you have to keep in mind. This formula is also there. Okay, and you look at this that I have written over here, N3 equal to 0, N1, N2, I consider, see, these are the considerations we need to take to make it simplify the things. Okay, we'll get some outcome or some formula based on that. So N3 is almost 0, as I said. Now what happens? N is equal to N1 plus N2 over here. Now importantly, if you see, we are interested in finding the minimum pumping power, कि मुझे कितना देना है. And if you remember in the last lecture, I have given you an example. Okay, that what is the requirement of passing marks. Okay, suppose if you are giving 100 marks exam, then the passing criteria is 35 or 40. Okay, so someone said that passing criteria is 35 marks. So that is how, that will be the minimum, or let's say threshold number which you need to obtain to consider as pass in that particular subject. So same way, if I need to find out the minimum pumping power, okay, so if I know that these are the number of particles, okay, n1 plus n2 only, okay, and अगर मुझे मिनिमम फाइंड आउट करना है तो मुझे पता है लेजर के लिए मिनिमम रिक्वायरमेंट क्या था, n2 must be larger than n1. That means upper level must have large number of particles compared to lower level. Clear? So if I consider the minimum case, तो मिनिमम में कहां से स्टार्ट करूंगा कि भाई जब वो दोनों बराबर हो जाए एटलीस्ट या उससे ज्यादा हो जाए, दैट मोमेंट ऑनवर्ड्स मुझे जो लेजर लाइट है वो मिलना स्टार्ट हो जाएगी. दैट वाज द क्राइटेरिया. सो मैं मिनिमम केस क्या कर लूं कि अगर लेट्स से n1 और n2 आपस में लगभग बराबर हो जाए, ऑलमोस्ट इक्विवेलेंट, ओके, इक्वल टू हो जाए दोनों के साइन, या उससे ज्यादा हो जाए n2, in that case I will be able to generate laser light. So that is why I have considered the fact that n1 and n2 are equal for the minimum threshold pumping. So if both are equal, then this n1 and instead of n2 again you can place n1, so that is 2n1. Okay, so 2n1 equal to capital N, so n1 will be n by 2. So that is how I have written over here. N1 is nothing but basically n by 2. This n by 2 result you can place in this PT formula which is there over here. So instead of this n1, you see I have placed n by 2. Okay, h nu p is already there as it is. Remember this T21 again. If you go through the book, they have derived further the two level system, and they find out that the value of T21 is equivalent with 1 upon A21. So you see at the bottom, if you can see my pointer, so this A21 is equivalent with 1 upon T of spontaneous, यानी spontaneous process का जो time है उसके inverse में है. Clear? So instead, yes.
सर T21 क्या है?
T21 again that probability of happening the spontaneous process from 2 to 1.
स्मॉल टी वाला.
हाँ बता देता हूँ, वो spontaneous lifetime है. Okay, let me look. What is the value of T21? A21 plus S21. Okay, we have seen already, but I told you that the chances of A21 is very large compared to S21, so you can neglect that. So this T21 you can write equivalent to the A21.
Follow.
Okay, so this T2 you can write equivalent to the A21 because S21 is very less or less probability. So you skip that. Now what is this A21? A21 is equivalent with 1 upon T spontaneous. This is the spontaneous time of that level. Okay, time interval जो होगा उस level का spontaneous, that time interval is inversely related to this A21. So instead of this A21, T21 is but A21 only. So instead of this A21, you place this value 1 upon T spontaneous. So this formula comes out to be this one.
Sir, over here, how did we get the formula for PT at the first place, like T21 into N1 into H nu T?
Yeah, that all depends from this only. If you derive this further, it is not complete part. Okay, I have skipped it because the purpose which I want to convey, that is over. Okay, but since the content is not there in syllabus, so I skip the content. But if you go through the book, okay, there are still many more contents available after that. Okay, so अगर आप वो पूरा डेप्थ में जाओगे, then you will see from where this formula of PT is coming out.
Okay, sir.
Directly I come out to this conclusion part where this okay, and you see all such details. Is it clear?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this highlighted one you see, this is the formula for the minimum power. Okay, so I think time is getting up. So if you people have doubt, then you please ask. Otherwise, we'll continue maybe in the next slide or next lecture. But this is the formula, you note it down. We may also do some numerical based on that. So this highlighted one, you note the formula.
Sir, what
Yes.
is TSP?
See, SP is in the base part. Okay, T is the time. तो जो spontaneous process का जो time है, that we are representing as TSP. SP for the spontaneous process. Okay, T is the time. तो उसको denote करने के लिए ताकि confusion ना हो कौन सा वाला T है, the base I have represented for spontaneous SP, nothing else.